Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a warning for everybody, little kids and everything. And this is also for a video for the people who are also struggling with mental illnesses and such. So this is my story and what all things happened to me. I am going to be interrupting myself because I don't tell stories very well, but yeah, so I'll probably film like this intricate parts of it because I probably forgot to put it in there because there's just so much. This is me. This is what I was going through. And keep in mind that throughout all of this, I was trying to make YouTube videos that were fun, lighthearted, and interesting. Just keep that in mind too. There was a mosquito. There's a mosquito. And I do not have bug spray on, and I do not have time to itch my legs right now. I already have some. Nope. This is gonna be a tough video. Admitting some of these things is gonna be pretty tough. These are some of the things I haven't even told anybody. If you guys came here for a good, happy, jolly video, it's not this one, so I would click another one. So I'm gonna tell you guys about my mental health, and I know I don't talk very good about my brain and the things that it does, and I know I've talked about some of the things that I cope with, or try to cope with at least. And so I'm just gonna tell you my story and things I've been through and stuff, so maybe that some of you guys who are maybe struggling with similar things, or who are just struggling, know that they're not alone and someone is going through it, no matter where you are in the world. If my family decides to watch this, it's gonna be, some of these things are gonna be shockers to them, but God, okay. Let me start off at the beginning. The very first anxiety attack that I had, the thing that started it all, was high school, freshman year, and I got it after a test that I took in civics and economics, and I messed up, and I knew that I messed up, so I started breaking down, and so I begged the teacher to help me retake it, or not retake it, but fix it or whatever. I was almost in tears because of it, because people always say oh my god, high school is the crucial years of your life, and you can't make any mistakes or screw it up, because this is what's gonna be the rest of your life. So that was overwhelming. So I was about to lose it over this first test that I had, and it was geography or something. And so then she let me fix it, and it was fine. And then the next week, or the week that test occurred, I felt terrible, and I was not doing, my mind was physically making my body sick, and for a week I didn't feel great. I would throw up. It was not good, and it was there was nothing wrong with me. I wasn't sick. It was just my brain was making me think that something was wrong or something, and just because of all the anxiety that I had about high school in general. And I remember feeling alone, and I couldn't eat anything because I couldn't keep it down. It was horrible. My friend came over, and that helped, and we played Mario Kart or whatever. I remember that day. And so yeah, so I just remember that week was just tough, and I never wanted to feel like that ever again. It was coming out of both ends. Both ends was bad, and it was just horrible, because I would do that at school, and it wasn't fun at all. None of it was fun. And I don't know why. I was mad at myself for my brain thinking things like that, and just making me so anxious, and so that was really frustrating. And then I mean, I didn't have one as bad as that for a while. So sophomore year came along, and it was still hard, and everything was still stressful. And I didn't have friends a lot in high school. I would eat lunch by myself pretty much a lot of the days. We had something called bowl time, and I would just go to a hallway where nobody was sitting, and I would just eat my lunch and maybe watch YouTube videos or something, or read to, you know, kind of fill the time without friends and just pass the time eating lunch or whatever. You know, so I was alone, you know, I didn't really have anyone to talk to and stuff like that, so that kind of made everything worse. I would get very stressed out about like schoolwork and getting good grades because, you know, you have to get good grades to get into a good college, and, you know, it matters what, you know, your weighted GPA is and your unweighted GPA is and all these things. And so sophomore year, that's when I started like questioning like sexuality things, and I was like, I can't be that, I can't do that, like there's no way. Actually no, this was the end of this was the summer of sophomore year of the end. So this was like the summer before my junior year. Something that really did stress me out was basketball. Like basketball was something that really stressed me out because I would play AAU and I would do these basketball games and I would play for my school and things, and I sat the bench on varsity the entire year of sophomore year, and it was horrible. Like, and I didn't have any self-confidence, and it wasn't a good time. Sitting on the bench, I just felt like I was wasting my time completely, and that I wasn't, you know, doing anything helpful or whatever, and plus school and all this other stuff. So the summer of my junior year, I was really banking on like not playing, and like it would stress me out so much, and I would think about it so often. Like my brain would not stop thinking about it. Like, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it, you're gonna commit to it, like are you gonna actually do this? Like it would get so loud in my head, and I would become so frustrated with myself and my thoughts. And one day I was like, you know, it's so loud in my head, like I can't do it, I can't go anywhere. Like, you know, my parents were all for like basketball and stuff, and like they were like, oh yeah, just keep doing it, you know, you're good, you can go college, you can play professional, like, you know, whatever. And, you know, with having that, like those kind of thoughts and stuff, like you're good, but like I don't want to do it anymore, but like you're good, but I don't want to do it. And I was just like, all these, like my head was just like on fire at this point, and I was like, you know what, I just want this to go away, I want it to stop. Like it just, describing it is something it's so hard because like you're just sitting there with all your thoughts in like or your room, and you're trying to watch videos and you're trying to drown it out, and you just can't. And so what I did was I got a thumbtack, like something that you pin up a picture with on the wall, and I would like drag it across my skin, just enough so I could feel like pain, just to know like I wasn't, just to know that I wasn't like just numb because of all the thoughts in like my brain, and like I just wanted to feel something else that wasn't like insanity. And so I did that, and I regret it now. I mean, because like there's some scars and things that I would like, it would leave, even though I wouldn't go that deep. I would just like scratch it and scratch it and scratch it until, I mean, it'd probably make it bleed, but I would do that. I didn't do it often. I only did it when I felt like I couldn't do anything else, like nothing else would help. Like when my brain got to the point where it was just like, you need to feel something else right now, like you cannot be in your head. And I would just concentrate on just like moving it across my skin. And obviously it wasn't the best decision. That's not how I should have handled it. It happened a couple of times before school started. The thing about it is that I would lie to my parents. They'd be like, where'd you get that from? Because I would do it, like, I would do it right here. I don't know if you can see this or not. You probably might not. But, like, there's one there. There's a big one there. And I'll get the story behind that one. But there's a couple over here in my watch. They're kind of faded, which is good, but they're there. There's some on the inside of my arm. Anyway, I wasn't doing it a lot. I just did it like that one or twice times, whatever, and like I would lie to my parents and I would say, oh, like the cat scratched me, because it would look like a cat scratch, you know, because I'm not stupid. I wouldn't take one of my knives and do it. Like that's stupid. I don't want to like die. I just wanted to feel something that wasn't numbness in my head, you know. And then I went through school and I found some friends and it was great, and I was happy that I had like, you know, friends that would hang out with me and, you know, do stuff, and it would, you know, it was good. You know, it kept my mind occupied. And I played basketball for the year. I sat, not as much as sophomore year, but I did sit a good bit. I mean, basketball would stress me out a good bit, but I had to be good. I had to be like the good people, and I had to, you know, not make myself look like a fool playing basketball like that. Like it was, you know, something, because like people didn't know me, but they knew of me because I played basketball. So, you know, they would, I don't know, they would know my name, but they wouldn't really talk to me, I guess. I don't know. It's a long story. Like in all my classes, I would just sit there and be quiet and just do my work and get it done with. Like I wouldn't really do anything else. Unless I had like a friend in my class or whatever, then we would just, you know, mess around. And then the summer of my senior year was fine, like whatever. I was also contemplating that not doing basketball would be a good thing. And I was contemplating again because I didn't get, you know, the playing time that I wanted when I was a junior, and I felt like I, you know, deserved it and earned it and stuff, and, you know, worked at it enough to get it. And so I was really contemplating it, you know. Nothing really happened, I don't think, that summer. And then senior year came around, and mind you, this was all going out when I was like coming out to myself. This was like when I was starting to figure out that like I liked girls, and that like, you know, that it was, all the dots were connecting in my head, I guess. So I was like just trying to figure out myself and figure out things like that. So, and I think that occupied my brain for the majority of it. But yeah, so senior year was fun. You know, I had the same friend group, and it was, you know, fun. Senior year was chill. I got to play a lot on the basketball team because I, you know, continued to play. I had friends, I had basketball, I was playing, everything was good, you know. I was figuring out what college I wanted to go to. That was kind of stressful. And then I had to take like the ACTs and SATs and things like that, which was stressful, but honestly, I don't test well, and I know that, and I was just going into it with the mindset of like, you know what, it is what it is at this point, you know. It was a good year. Senior year was a really fun year. Yeah, and then graduation, that was a really good time in my life, was graduation and graduating, getting out of high school. I've had a drama-filled place. I was dating my ex at this point, and you know, it was a long distance thing, and it would get tiring a lot doing the long distance thing, but it was fine, you know. It was fine. I dealt with it. I started journaling around this time in my senior year, and just kind of putting down my thoughts and trying to figure everything out. So at this point, I was trying to figure out how to like come out to people, blah blah blah, and I was like, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ever gonna tell anybody, blah blah blah. So yeah, and so here comes college. Also around this time, starting to go to college, in that summer before college, my friend group kicked me out of the friend group, so I literally did not have like any friends. So that sucked. And I didn't do anything wrong, and honestly, if I would do it again, I would, because just of the whole situation that had happened. But they kicked me out for it. Oh, good college. Yeah, and it just hits me right in the face. Yeah, and you know, senior year wasn't a stressful year. It was just kind of like, you do your work, you go home, you're fine and dandy. College sucked for work part. Like, I literally got to college and we literally had homework and a quiz on the first like couple days, and I got really, really stressed out. And at this point, I made the basketball team as a walk-on, and so I was going to preseason workouts when I started college. Like, they would give you a week to get used to it, and then they would start preseason workouts like the week after. So yeah, so I was doing college for a week. It was stressful because there was a lot of work and I didn't know how I was gonna do all of these things and all of these projects and just like everything at once. So that like really stressed me out. And then, you know, I was doing these preseason workouts, waking up at like 6 a.m. going and running and doing these tests and things, and it was a lot for me. And yeah, and you know, basketball was a thing at that time where like I didn't really care for it. Like that's not what I really wanted to do in life, and I felt like it was not a good use of my time. So yeah, so like, you know, as preseason workouts were going on and like September starts rolling around and schoolwork is, you know, in the works, and that's when I decided to come out to my parents and everything else, and dealing with a relationship, a long distance relationship, and going on the basketball team, working these like hours and like workout hours and practices were long and stuff, and doing school, like it was a lot on me, and like I felt like there was a weight on me that it was just so heavy, and like doing everything, it was just it was just a lot at that time. And like I would remember like after basketball, some of these like basketball sessions and practices and workouts, like I would just hate basketball inside because like, what am I here for? What am I doing? I know I'm not gonna get playing time. Like, what am I doing? And I remember just, you know, getting so frustrated with myself and so like aggravated at like not doing better or being the best, or like being with the other like teammates levels of, you know, their abilities. And I would just get so frustrated, and I remember like sitting in the dorm showers crying. I would literally just cry, and it was just all that frustration and all just the stress and just the stress of everything. And I just remember sitting there and just crying, and I wouldn't come out of the showers until I stopped because I didn't want like anybody to know that like I was struggling. Sorry to interrupt again, but yeah, so like during this time I was doing the thumbtack thing again in my dorm room when nobody was there, but yeah, so I just thought I'd put that in right here. So yeah, around that point, so I was handling all that, and schoolwork is a lot, and classes and relationship and basketball was just a lot. And so my mom found out about, well, I told her about like the whole relationship thing and the long distance thing and whatever, and she was like, wow, this is like a lot, like I think you should go to the on-campus therapists, because like we have 3 like free therapists on our campus. So I was like, all right, like I think it's gotten to the point where I need one. And you know, I joke about how I need therapists and stuff a lot, but well, anyway, so I go ahead and I sign up for a therapist, and like a couple weeks later, like I have like a first meeting, and so like I walked into the office and I was like, hey, like I'm here for my appointment, blah blah blah. And I kind of didn't want to walk into the office because I was like, people are gonna know, like blah blah blah. Also, mind you, didn't have like any friends in college except for like my teammates. Anyway, and my roommate. But my roommate's great, you know. But anyways, besides the fact, like, you know, I was still getting to know her in that process because, you know, it was still like beginning of the year, the first semester, you know. So I would go to this therapist, and I mean, like I was like, I don't really know how to do this, like I've never been to a therapy session or whatever. And she was like, oh yeah, like, you know, like I'm just here to listen to you. I was like, what do you mean? Like I gotta do all the talking here? Like I just, you know, at that point, like I was exhausted from like all of these thoughts, all my thinking. I didn't really want to talk at all about like any of the problems, because I'm not very a feelings person. Like I won't tell you how I feel. Like I don't know, I guess I have too much pride about it. I really don't know why I don't talk about my feelings, but yeah, I don't know, I'm very shielded, I guess you can say. Anyways, so yeah, so I would just like talk about things, and like she'd just be already like telling me things that I already knew and stuff, and I would tell her like the problems and situations that I had. I don't know, it wasn't really working out for me. So I went for about like 4 weeks, I think, and then I stopped. It's like, because they weren't really helping me in any way. But I told her and stuff, and she suggested different things and whatever. And yeah, so it didn't really help at all. I don't know, I didn't really help. So, so yeah, you know, when basketball was still going, life as it is was still going, and like, I think, I can't remember what day it was, but I remember one day, like, I think it was a weekend, and I was so angry and fed up with basketball, and I was so, like, my head was burning. It was like that same feeling that I got in junior year in the summer. And so I like took another thumbtack and I did what I did, and that was that. And it just, I mean, at the time it felt better, you know, it felt better than my thoughts and always being in my thoughts, and stuff. And you know, my parents weren't there to like see any of that or anything, and I didn't really want to talk to them about it, because I mean, you know, they're your parents, like, you know, they expect you to not do things like that, or not do certain things, and you know, to be a good person and all. And I don't know, it's a lot. And so, I mean, that's what happened, you know. And then I like made the decision. I was like, listen, I can't do this anymore, so I quit basketball. And I started doing these like filming jobs for them. And then, you know, it kind of got better. And then December started, and December was better because then I met my girlfriend now that I have, Haley. And that really, and we like went on adventures and fun things, and it kind of made me like forget all about like my struggling situations, I guess, because like when you're with a person and when you're doing something, you're kind of just in the moment, you're not really worried about anything else at the time. So it kind of like took my brain pain away, like my headspace, and so that I wasn't really thinking about it that much. So yeah, so like that definitely really helped, I think. She helped me a lot. And yeah, so I was really happy for the rest of the college year, I guess, through second semester. Spanish was really getting to me, and then the whole COVID thing came along, and just another kick in the face. And so yeah, then like everyone started social distancing and all these things, and my girlfriend wasn't allowed to like come see me for quite a while. And like me and my mom would argue a lot, just about everything and anything. We would just fight, and like we would just be like, my mom would be like, you know, if you catch this coronavirus, like you're not living in this house anymore or whatever, you know. And that kind of like really got me really bad. But you know, my mom's like the nicest person in the world. Like, you've seen her on the vlog, like she's not mean. But I mean, at that time, I think we were all just going crazy, and like we said some stuff that we regret, I think. And I don't know, like my schoolwork would get so bad because like the online process, like everybody knows they assign way more homework than they should online, and it would just really stress me out. And I think me and my girlfriend were arguing about something, and so I would just like sit in my room and I would cry, and I would like breathe very heavy with like my head in between my knees, and I would like try to like stop thinking about things, and I don't know, like again it got to that like burning headspace of like you know, like numbness, kind of like burning headspace is numb, and it wasn't good. And so I did it again, and that's what this one was that you guys see now. And I blamed that on a tree branch. That's what I told my parents. But you know, honestly, it is what it is. Obviously now I have more of an idea of what to do if I ever do feel like that. And I have better coping mechanisms now, I would say. And yeah, like I would like go for walks, go for long walks if I was ever like frustrated or whatever. I'd go for runs, and I would listen to music full blast. I would just to, like drown out my head stuff. I would just go sit out in nature. I would watch a movie or something that I like, and things like that that would get, you know, my mind off of things that was going on and stuff. I would probably FaceTime my girlfriend. I do that a lot, and she usually, you know, calms me down if things like that happen. So like now I have a better grip. Oh, so yeah, that's my story, I guess, and it's still continuing, you know. Like some days I just don't feel like getting out of bed. And it got to that point in college when I was still doing basketball. I was like, I don't want to get out of bed right now. Like, I had no motivation for anything because I didn't have time for YouTube videos. And that's what I enjoyed doing. I loved making YouTube videos for you guys. And, like, with basketball, like, I couldn't do it. Like, and so I got depressed. I really got depressed. And, you know, and I think there's a part of me to this day that still fights depression and stuff, but I think at like a little more lower levels. But yeah, so I mean, I think everybody goes through things like this, and everybody's story is just a little bit different. It's just on how you deal with things. Yeah, just don't do what I did. That's a bad example. Don't do what I did. That's where I am now. Right now, I'm good. My head feels clearer than it was and has been, and I feel a little more grounded. I mean, there's still bad days and good days, you know, like everybody else. But this is a lot. This is a big video. I don't know if I'm gonna post this or not. This is kind of scary. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, share it if you would like to. Just to let people know that, you know, you're not alone. Everybody goes through this kind of stuff, like more than you think. And it's kind of unexpected, the people who actually do. So, like, you know, it may be like the most stable people you think, and then turns out they're doing something that they shouldn't be, and hurting themselves and things like that. And the next one, everything is linked down in the description below, including my Patreon page and my GoFundMe for college, and my Instagram and Poshmark are also down there. And enjoy life and live it up. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.